Hi there, welcome back to Explore Grammar with Zabed. Today I'm going to start transformation or interchange of sentences, another important topic of English grammar. In this video, you'll learn how to convert an affirmative sentence to negative sentence. At first, you will understand what affirmative sentence and negative sentence are. Then you look into different cases to convert an affirmative sentence to negative sentence with ample number of examples. Finally, I'll give you an exercise to practice. So, without any further delay, let's start the topic.
Well, for transforming a sentence, what we need to do is we have to transform just type of sentence. Usually, the transformation of a sentence should be done without changing its meaning. Sentences can be transformed from affirmative to negative, assertive to interrogative, assertive to imperative, exclamatory to assertive. But remember, it can be transferred vice versa also. That means we can also transfer from negative to affirmative, interrogative to assertive, imperative to assertive, assertive to exclamatory. I hope you are clear, but in this video, you are going to learn only one of these, and that is affirmative to negative. Before going to the rules, let's try to know what are affirmative and negative sentences. Affirmative sentences. The sentences which are used to describe any general action, event, speech, or expression are known as affirmative sentences. These sentences do not contain any words of negation like no, not, never, none, nobody, etc. An example of affirmative sentence is Aryan is here. Take a note. No words of negation like not, never, nobody, etc. has been used in the sentence. By this time, we have already known what are affirmative sentences. So, let us find out what are negative sentences. The sentences which are used to express the negative expression in case of action, event, or speech are known as negative sentences. This type of sentences contain words of negation like no, not, never, none, nobody, hardly, etc. An example of negative sentence is Aryan is not here. Take a note. The word of negation not has been used in the sentence to make it negative. As you have got to know about affirmative and negative sentence by now, I hope you have no problem recognizing them in a sentence. Dear viewers, to learn how to convert an affirmative sentence to a negative sentence, we need to understand and remember some of the common rules. Like, first, when we have to convert a sentence from affirmative to negative, we must use some words like no, not, nobody, never, nothing, no one, neither, none, nowhere, etc. Secondly, use opposite words of nouns, adjective, verb, and adverb if required. Next is, we have to remember sometimes in simple present tense and in simple past tense, we'll also have to add some of the verbs like do, does, and did. Okay? Do or does is used in simple present and did is used in simple past tense. So now let's start with the first rule we have to follow to convert an affirmative sentence into negative sentence. The first rule is only or alone or merely is in affirmative sentence is replaced by none but for person, nothing but for things, not more than or not less than for numbers. Let's try to understand with the help of some examples. Only Mr. Rahman can help me out. Take a note. Here, Mr. Rahman is a person. While converting from affirmative to negative, it will become none but Mr. Rahman can help me out. Here, none but is used in case of a person. Moving on with the next example. This is in case of things. Farima has only a few toys. Changing it from affirmative to negative, it becomes Farima has nothing but a few toys. Here, nothing but is used in case of things and toys are the example of things. Let's look into one more example. This is in case of number. Asma got only 95% marks in JSC exam. While converting this to negative, it becomes Asma got not less than 95% marks in JSC exam or Asma got not more than 95% marks in JSC exam. Take a note. Not more than or not less than is used here in case of numbers. Rule number 2. In an affirmative sentence, if you find must, have to, has to, it should be replaced with either cannot but or cannot help plus verb in the ing form. Let's try to understand it with the help of an example. We must look after our elders. Converting to negative, it becomes we cannot but look after our elders or we cannot help looking after our elders. The following rule states both and in affirmative sentence is replaced by not only but also in negative sentence. Let us follow this with the help of an example. She would like to have both ice cream and cake. Converting this to negative sentence, she would like to have not only ice cream but also cake. Take a note. While converting from affirmative to negative, we are only changing the structure but not the meaning of a sentence. As soon as in an affirmative sentence is replaced by no sooner had than. For example, as soon as the thief saw the police, he ran away. Converting this to negative, it becomes no sooner had the thief seen the police than he ran away. Rule number 5. Every, everyone, everybody in an affirmative sentence is replaced by there is no plus attached word plus but, or there is no plus without in a negative sentence. But remember, there is no plus without is used when have or has is the only one verb in a sentence. We'll try to understand with the help of few examples. Every mother loves her child. Converting to negative, there is no mother but loves her child. Take a look at the next example. Every flower in this garland has a sweet fragrance. Here, has is the only verb in this sentence. So while converting it to negative, it will become there is no flower in this garland without a sweet fragrance. Moving on with the next rule. To in an affirmative sentence is replaced by so that in a negative sentence. We'll try to understand this with the help of an example. The tortoise is too slow to run. Changing it to negative, it becomes the tortoise is so slow that it cannot run. As in an affirmative sentence is replaced by not less than in a negative sentence. Let's look into an example of it. The tortoise is as fast as a snail. While converting to negative, it becomes the tortoise is not less fast than a snail. Comparative degree and superlative degree in affirmative sentence is replaced by no other plus as plus positive degree plus as plus subject in a negative sentence. This might sound complicating, but I'm sure when you look into the example, things will turn out to be easy. So let's see what the example tells us. Today is the hottest day. In this sentence, hottest is the superlative degree. So while converting this affirmative sentence to negative sentence, it becomes no other day is as hot as today. Hot in the sentence is the positive degree. I guess now the rule is clear to you. Moving on with the next rule. Sometimes affirmative sentences are changed into negative by using opposite words. Before the opposite words, of course, not is used. Let's try to follow this with the help of an example. The soup is hot. Here, while converting this sentence to negative sentence, the opposite of hot is cold will be used in a sentence. But don't forget to use the negation word not before the opposite word. So in a negative sentence, it becomes the soup is not cold. Rule number 10. If there is no auxiliary verb in an affirmative sentence, we will use not with the to-do verb. This to-do verb will be used according to the tense, number, and person. After that, we'll write the opposite word of the given verb. For example, she remembered me. While converting it to negative sentence, it becomes she did not forget me. Rule number 11. Always in an affirmative sentence is replaced by never plus opposite word of the affirmative word. For example, Mr. Hassan is always against of smoking. Converting it to negative. Mr. Hassan is never in favor of smoking. Moving on with the next rule. Sometimes in an affirmative sentence is replaced by not always. For example, a day laborer is sometimes happy. Converting it to negative sentence, it becomes a day laborer is not always happy. Moving on with the following rule. Universal truths are changed by making them negative interrogative. For example, the sun sets in the west. After changing it from affirmative to negative, it becomes doesn't the sun set in the west? And we have closed the sentence with the sign of interrogation. This is all about the rules of changing an affirmative sentence to negative sentence. All the rules are at one glance. So here you are with the quick revision. I want you to have a look at it. You can pause your video also for a while and read. Time up. Okay viewers, now let's practice. It's time for us to practice. Let's practice converting a few affirmative sentences to negative sentences. Number 1. I was doubtful if I would pass. Sentence number 2. Shakespeare was greater than any other English playwright. Sentence number 3. As soon as we heard the gunshots, we rushed indoors. Sentence number 4. Only a millionaire can buy such an expensive car. Sentence number 5. Everyone makes mistakes. Sentence number 6. You should always speak the truth. And sentence number 7. He must buy a grammar book. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any query or suggestion related to the lesson, please feel free to write it in the comment section. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Do share the video so others can learn, and do subscribe the channel. Please don't forget to press the bell icon to get regular updates about the course. See you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay good.